Flinters, exciting. Flinters, exotic. Flinters, pleasing. Flinters, long. Flinters, cool. Flinters, refreshing. Wow. Flinters, pour it fast, drink it slow.
Take a trip to the Sellafield Visitors Centre. It's exciting, it's educational, and it's packed with fascinating facts about nuclear energy. Open every day of the year except Christmas Day. The Sellafield Visitors Centre.
Well, I mean this decorating, Lark, it's your preparation.
This is it, dear. Preparation.
I mean, wallpaper stripping, she reckons it takes no time.
Nah, not with the niggly bits.
They take all day. And then what have you got?
Blisters?
Yes, Jeff. Then there's the painter strip.
Paint stripping, dear.
And then you want a nice smooth finish, so it's...
Just sanding, dear.
It'll take all week.
Not quite, Dave. Anyway, another half.
No, I can't stand here talking when there's work to be done.
Oh, right, oh.
The wallpaper stripper, paint stripper and sander from Black & Decker.
After a 14-month, 50,000-mile test, the critics at Car Magazine described the re-engineered Rover Metro with a few choice words. Metro. It's the only small car good enough to be called a Rover.
From the Leeds new home arranger, a home buyer's report comes through. But that's not all. He'll always call when he has some news for you.
The Amstrad Fax is a phone or an answer phone with remote control, so even when you're out, you can stay in touch. The Amstrad Fax, £499.99, including VAT.
From Gillette comes Sensor, the razor that can sense and adjust to the individual needs of your face. Sensor blades are mounted on responsive springs to continuously sense and individually adjust to your face. Closer, safer, more comfortable. Gillette Sensor, together with the richness of Gillette Gel, for a shave that is unsurpassed. Gillette, the best of men.
For 6 weeks, there's a new Rover 200 Cabriolet to be won in the Daily and Sunday Express.
Mr. Mohammed Alam Chana, a civil servant from Pakistan, said his only sadness is that he can't blend into the crowd. His height was confirmed today at 7 foot 6.5 inches. That, by the way, is about 4 inches taller than a telephone box. That's news at 10 tonight. From Alistair and from me, good night and have a good weekend.
Should Brian Gould be Labour's leader or deputy leader? I'll be interviewing Mr. Gould this Sunday at 1:10 on ITV.
The Great Paula Easter sale has been extended for 1 week only. Save an amazing £15 a square yard on traditional Wiltons at $4.99 a square yard. The ultimate in hard-wearing carpet, save £8 a square yard, now $4.99. Look at this, suitable for any room in the house. Half price at only $1.99 a square yard. There's American Shadows at $2.99 a square yard. And heavy-duty cord at 99p. Hurry, the Great Easter sale is extended until this weekend. At Castleford, Chesterfield, Doncaster, Hull, Leeds, Lincoln, Mansfield, Newark, Old Denby, Rotherham, Selby, Sheffield, Wath, Worksop.
Still drinking filtered, Papa?
Of course. I've just had Jenkins moaning about your instant. He says it's costing the company too much money.
What did you say?
I told him I'd retired.
Good. He hates me using the same grade of beans in our instant that we use in Kenco ground.
Well, it is only an instant, dear. Oh, no.
You would.
Kenco. Everything we know about coffee in an instant.
If you collect Tiger tokens, you'll find a whole lot more than you bargained for.
in the biggest ever Esso collection. There's a dazzling selection of gifts, and now with Tiger tokens you can stay in the magical world of Euro Disney. Get collecting those Tiger tokens.
Cantonese beef, made simple by Sharwoods. Slice the beef and peppers. Stir-fry the beef. Add the vegetables. Add Sharwood's black bean sauce, coating the ingredients evenly. Finally, serve with noodles. The mystery of Chinese cooking, unraveled by Sharwoods.
Even from an early age, Abbey National customers don't worry about breaking something or losing something or having it taken from them. Insurance cover from Abbey National, the habit of a lifetime.
The new Audi AT is designed to be largely recyclable. For more information, phone 0800 585 685.
Take a trip to the Sellafield Visitors Centre. It's exciting, it's educational, and it's packed with fascinating facts about nuclear energy. Open every day of the year except Christmas Day. The Sellafield Visitors Centre. That Friday feeling. You just can't keep it in. Okay, you can go cheaper than Thomson price breakers, but we wouldn't recommend it.
Our Friday night film is the thriller Plunge Into Darkness in 10 minutes.
Hello there. Well, we're in for a fairly windy weekend with some pretty blustery showers, particularly in the more northern and western parts of the country. And that's all because this area of low pressure that's winding up today, that's its position for midday tomorrow. A lot of winds pushing in there, and with it some sprinkling of showers coming in across many parts of the country. Today we had a fair bit of rain coming in as well. At midday there it was across the Irish Sea, and it worked its way gradually eastwards during the afternoon. It's going to continue to work east to clear the most eastern part of the country in the early hours of tomorrow morning. Behind it already a sprinkling of showers pushing into northwestern parts of Scotland. They're going to probably persist for many places overnight, but for the bulk of England and Wales it'll be generally a dry night. Tomorrow morning we start fairly bright and dry down the most eastern side of the country. A lot of sunshine around, and particularly in the central areas as well. Those showers already into northwestern areas of Scotland, over Northern Ireland, and perhaps one or two pushing into the more western parts of Wales, and even southwestern parts of England. As we go into the afternoon, I think the showers are becoming fairly heavy, particularly again in the northwest. Some of them also pushing into the more central parts of England, and maybe even getting over to the eastern side of the country. But I think many parts of the east and south are probably going to stay dry with only a few light and scattered showers. Not a particularly warm day. The wind's fairly strong, I should say, as you can see. So those temperatures, well, it's going to take the best of the temperatures down a bit. And I think if you are out and about, do wrap up well, because certainly the chill factor knocking the edge way off those temperatures. Let's look ahead at Sunday, and it's a fairly similar sort of story for many parts. Showers up in the north and west, brighter down the eastern part of the country. Temperatures very similar, but somewhat masked again by the fairly brisk winds. But some further cloud coming in from the south and west later, bringing further rain to those parts. So a fairly windy weekend in store. There will be some bright spells. Do wrap up well if you're out.
Good evening. Airport managers are warning tonight that cuts in airline links from London are threatening the region's economy. They are to plead at a conference next week for government help to preserve the remaining services between Leeds Bradford Airport and Heathrow. They claim millions of pounds in foreign investment to the region could be lost by the flow of passengers to airlines abroad.
Humberside Airport's already lost its service to the capital. It's feared the same fate awaits many more, including Leeds Bradford. Now regional airport managers are meeting to demand help from the government. They say Heathrow is pricing internal flights off its runways.
Regional airports throughout the country need a facility to be able to fly to their capital airport because it has an important knock-on effect to the business enterprise of the local economy.
Last year, 40,000 passengers flew from Humberside to Amsterdam, nearly half to catch long-haul flights. But many would rather fly through Heathrow, impossible since the route was suspended. Amsterdam Schiphol Airport is forced to accept domestic flights by the Dutch government's transport policy. Managers here say they're benefiting from Heathrow's high landing charges.
An F-27, like the one that is operated to Humberside, I think at Heathrow they count 350 or 400% more landing charges than we do over here in Amsterdam.
Back in Britain, second division airports like Leeds Bradford are also threatened. As well as landing charges, the lure of more profitable routes could rob the regions.
Recently, Liverpool has lost its Heathrow service because the airline concerned has chosen to use that Heathrow slot to operate into Europe. So we're being attacked in two directions.
Heathrow denies trying to drive out smaller airliners. It says it's reduced landing fees and improved its domestic terminal. But 4 destinations have already disappeared from its arrival boards. The regional airports say British Airlines are losing millions to Holland's KLM alone.
A baby's body found in a river near Harrogate has been identified as that of the missing 5-month-old girl, Tara Calnan. Police frogmen recovered her body from the River Nid today, 10 days after her disappearance.
The baby's body was seen floating in a remote part of the River Nid near Bilton Viaduct at Harrogate by a man out walking his dog. The area is 3.5 miles from Killinghall Bridge, where the hunt for Tara began on April the 14th, after her mother allegedly phoned a friend claiming she'd put the baby in the river. The mother, Maxine Davis, had travelled 120 miles from her home in Leicestershire. Davis, who's 29, is now in custody, charged with attempting to cause grievous bodily harm to the child. I asked the head of Harrogate CID, Detective Chief Inspector Colin Hallinan, if other charges were now being considered.
The file will be prepared when inquiries are complete, hopefully within the next few days. And that will be submitted to the Crown Prosecution Service, who in consultation with ourselves will consider whether further charges are in fact appropriate.
Today, Tara's father, who's not been named, identified the body. The grim discovery was made at the halfway point of a 7-mile stretch of water from Killinghall to Knaresborough, which had been at the centre of the police search. An inquest into baby Tara's death is expected to be opened in the next few days.
Nearly 100 firemen tackled a major blaze at Knaresborough near King's Lynn tonight, which has severely damaged the town's maltings. They fought for several hours to control the fierce flames at the maltings, now used as industrial units. The fire is believed to have started in pallets made in one of the units. Firemen battled against strong winds, which fanned the flames. There was no danger to life, but nearby buildings were evacuated as a precaution. The A47, which was closed between King's Lynn and Swaffham, has now been reopened. 11 men have been arrested in Bradford by police investigating soccer hooliganism. Similar early morning raids were carried out at Stockport in Greater Manchester. This report from Chris Kiddie.
The raids followed a by now familiar pattern, officers setting out at dawn to pre-arranged destinations in Bradford. They made arrests in Homewood, Buttershaw, West Bowling and Fagley. Officers broke down the door of this house in Fagley, though, only to discover they'd got the wrong address. It's understood those arrested, suspected members of the so-called ointment gang who follow Bradford City, were taken to Bolling Road Police Station. At the same time, Greater Manchester Police were making arrests in Stockport. Bradford are due to play Stockport County in their last home game of the season at Valley Parade tomorrow, though today's arrests follow trouble in Stockport itself last year. It's hoped tomorrow's game will be trouble-free.
Just one football result from the 4th Division and more disappointment tonight for bottom-placed Doncaster Rovers. They lost 1-0 at Crewe Alexandra. Finally, high-tech repairs are to be used to preserve a piece of Lincolnshire history. The jawbone of a whale, which was found beached on the shores of the Wash around 1831, has become a popular tourist attraction. But vandalism and the years have taken their toll. Now work has begun to preserve the jawbone using a watertight resin. It's being coated with fiberglass, which will protect it well into the 21st century. That's all from Calendar for tonight. We'll, of course, be back with the latest news at 1:05 tomorrow lunchtime. But from me, have a very good weekend. Good night.
Good evening again, and time to have a look at the weekend weather prospects across the region. Well, it's been a pretty unsettled week this week, and sadly that unsettled theme is going to continue throughout the weekend. I suppose broadly we can call it April showers. Right, we'll start by having a look at today's weather chart. Well, we can see why it was unsettled. We have low pressure up to the top left-hand corner of the picture there under today, and a weather front moving into western districts and another one way out to the east. So that gave us the cloud, that gave us the rain, and the isobars gave us the rather strong winds. And on the morning satellite picture we can translate that into cloud, and you can see a lot of cloud there ahead of that cold front, but behind it, it is much clearer, much more broken cloud, but there are lots of showers there in that broken cloud. And we can see how things have progressed. By early afternoon, that cold front pushing on, and in fact it did clear the east coast early in this evening, and by tomorrow morning that's the way we expect the chart to look. The cold front way out of the way to the east there, but a lot of isobars. That does mean rather windy conditions, and I think a fair number of showers to come as well. So back to what's happening tonight. It's probably looks like being a reasonable night now. Most of the showers have just about died out. I think a lot of that cloud will melt away. The winds are easing off, so a reasonably fine night, but quite cold in places, as low as 3 centigrade or 37 degrees Fahrenheit. And tomorrow morning it'll be a promising start for the day, dry with lots of sunshine, but we're going to find that wind starting to freshen, clouds building, showers developing, and they are expected to become a bit more widespread as we go into the afternoon. Temperatures, though, well, near normal at about 13 centigrade, that's the mid-50s Fahrenheit, but it will feel a little bit cold in that wind. Now, Saturday night looks as though it will be dry, so a fine start to Sunday morning with some sunshine, but can see cloud increasing, and we're going to finish up by afternoon with the north perhaps having the best of the weather. Some sunshine there, but some showers. In the south, rather more in the way of cloud and perhaps more general rain. And temperatures on Sunday, well, we expect them to be much the same, again at about 13 centigrade or 55 Fahrenheit. Well, that's it from me for now, so tomorrow's summary chart.
Just a reminder that the James Whale radio show phone lines are open all weekend, so if you've got something to say, please phone on 0898 46 1000. That's 0898 46 1000.
This isn't just a fancy dress contest, it's a contest to show how much better Fairy is than these less effective liquids.
Now that looks greasy.
So who's going to wash up?
Lots of lovely bubbles to start with. But are they still shifting the grease?
Yuck, can't do anymore. Fairy bubbles can.
See, those other liquids can do this much, but Fairy goes on to do 50% more than those lesser liquids.
ITV Movies take you beyond the stars with Star Trek 4.
Present here is an act of war. What have I done?
Action with Bond in Octopussy.
Looks like we got a welcoming committee.
Kirk Douglas and Burt Lancaster are two tough guys on the run.
All right, what's the deal?
I'd just like you to run a little errand with me, that's all.
Jeff Bridges gets more than he bargained for in Nadine.
You wouldn't happen to have a knife, would you?
I'm not even wearing underwear.
I hope they choke on us.
Steve Guttenberg experiences the rejuvenating powers of Cocoon. And Tom Hanks adds a comic touch to Bachelor Party.
This is the best 3D I've ever seen. I've seen better.
The ITV Movie Collection, coming to your screen soon.